Did you know that it only takes 6 patterns to be able to solve the Rubik's Cube? That's it. And the first pattern is a 4-step pattern. It's used in the beginning and at the end. I'll go ahead and show it to you now. Step 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. You don't even need a Rubik's Cube for your first lesson. Most people can learn it in about 4 hours. And can you think of a better time than right now to learn? Maybe you've thought about doing this for years. Well, now is a great time for that. The first lesson doesn't even require a cube. The first lesson is understanding the inside of the Rubik's Cube. The centers, they never change, which means the opposite side colors are always going to be the same. Let me show you. So the opposite side of yellow, that's always going to be white. The opposite side of red is always going to be orange. And the opposite side of green is always going to be blue. Now, when you're solving it, I'm going to talk about rows and columns. So you have the right column, the middle column, and the left column. Then you have the bottom row, the middle row, and then the top row. That's it. So if you have a cube, dust it off and go ahead and start. If not, you can order them through Amazon, Walmart, Target. So with the cube, the first lesson, the first concept is learning the opposite side colors. The opposite side color for red, that's going to be orange. The opposite side color for yellow, that's going to be white. And the opposite side color for green, that's going to be blue. Now that is the concept that you have to get to finish the first lesson. But there's also techniques on how to get to that concept. That class that I took on how to be successful in college, really it taught me how to be techniques on how to be successful in life. And so with each lesson, there's 9, I have a technique from that 600 that's been very powerful in my own life. The first technique we're using right now, and it's called spaced repetition. You've heard that repetition is the mother of learning. That's partly true. It's not just repetition. It's spaced repetition. You have to have some time in between. And it can be very difficult to force yourself to come back. In this case, it's just going to be a couple of minutes. And we'll review that same information. Now, with the technique, there is a concept here. The concept is knowing the opposite side colors. What I'm also doing is I'm adding in speeches that you can watch them at a different time, but it's with concepts that have helped me in my life. My goal is that you don't just learn the Rubik's Cube, but instead that when you solve this cube, this becomes a metaphor for your life. In other words, you have things that you want to do that seem incredibly complicated, but you know deep down that you can accomplish them. Same thing with the cube. I'm going to be teaching you the concepts and the techniques on how to get there. So what's the first life concept? It's taking ownership or responsibility for ourselves. I have a story about that, when I did it and what the results are, and it's pretty amazing. So I encourage you to watch that and think about for your own life, what are the areas that you can take ownership? Okay, now it's time to see if you memorize those opposite side colors. Ready? Opposite side for red, orange, right? Okay, the opposite side color for yellow, white, Good. And the opposite side color for green, blue. We'll see you in lesson 2.